Hi, I'm Cole, and along with Anella, Asai, Mark, Melissa, Sam, and Will, we'll be covering Cisco Systems Inc. this semester as our company. Cisco is a multinational tech conglomerate founded in 1984, centered around developing, manufacturing, and selling networking hardware, telecommunications equipment, and other high technology services and products. Cisco tries to remain as an innovative and fresh company dedicated to furthering the network. And some important people to mention for their current executive leadership consists of their Chief Executive Officer, Chuck Robbins, their Chief Digital Officer, Kevin Bandy, and their Chief Financial Officer, Kelly A. Kramer, who also serves as an Executive Vice President for Cisco.
The bargaining power of buyers for Cisco seems to have only a medium level of risk connected to it. Cisco is a big provider in the network world dealing with equipment, but it is by far not the only business that is offering these type of products. By having a decent amount of competition in the same field, it makes for an easily obtained substitute for any of Cisco's products. Because substitutes are easily obtained, it gives the buyer a little bit of power when it comes to seeking the best quality for the least amount of money. The customer base for Cisco is going to include businesses of any size, public institutions, and government facilities, which can also play into the buyer's bargaining power. By buying in bulk, the customer is able to have more pull for discounted rates on Cisco's products. The only thing that plays into the buying power in Cisco's favor is that the world we are living in has the necessity for technology. As long as there's always a need for technical products and Cisco can deliver, then they will have some of the power.
I'll be going over threat of substitutes. It was honestly pretty hard to find substitutes for Cisco. Products made by Cisco are not easily substitutable. For a number of reasons, we looked at market demands and technology innovations. The products, they simply mature over time and they're easily replaced by better technology. Cisco, they do minimize the threat of substitutes by spending on research and development. Cisco's threat of substitutes, their risk level is more of a moderate to low. Just by looking at technology trends, this market, it has a rapid growth, and Cisco, they can't rely that their product will always be number one. As well as price performance, competitors, they can come up with a product that has higher levels of performance with a better price and sell that to businesses, and it's pretty simple. A large part of being successful in this industry is a company's ability to quickly develop new technologies that consumers do demand. Cisco, they have been successful in providing products to customers in the past, and they'll continue to do so in the future.
The threat posed by potential new entrants into the market of global networking is relatively low for Cisco. Cisco gained a strong first-mover advantage in their industry, having been around since 1984. This has allowed them to take up a large percentage of market share. 85% of internet traffic travels across Cisco systems. Cisco has developed a vast technological infrastructure that has made it hard for potential competitors to gain a foothold in the market. Global networking is driven by technological innovation, and in order to stay at the vanguard of networking technologies, Cisco has constantly invested vast sums of money into research and development. Most small startups don't have anywhere near the kinds of funds that Cisco has to put towards product development. In this industry, product differentiation doesn't play as large of a role as it does in other areas of technological development. This is because most of the products produced have the same basic concepts. It really comes down to staying ahead of the technology curve and maintaining a high level of product performance, which Cisco has consistently done well at over the years. A potential new entrant into the market will likely lack the capital, customer base, and positioning that Cisco has already gained. Although this is a growing market, almost every company entering it is being bought out by existing companies. Cisco alone has already bought out hundreds of smaller companies over the past several years, helping the company maintain a majority of market share. It is for these reasons that I believe there is a low level of threat posed by potential new entrants.
Cisco competes in the networking and communications equipment markets by providing products and services for transporting data, voice, and video traffic across the intranet, extranet, and the internet. They have many competitors in each individual market that they operate in. However, their 7 largest competitors are Amazon Web Services, Hewlett-Packard, QA, Juniper, Microsoft, Syntec, and VMware. Many competitors like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, and Hewlett-Packard have strong technological and marketing positions, along with vast financial resources at their disposal. Cisco has expanded to new markets internationally and will also be forced to face local competition as well. Barriers to entry are relatively low, and ventures that compete with Cisco's products are formed with regularity, especially in Cisco software services. After analyzing Cisco's competition, I have assessed that the threat of competition is high.
I'm going to talk about supplier threat. Long story short, Cisco faces a low threat from suppliers. This is due to a few things. Number one, impaired forward integration. The network industry has a lot of players, but Cisco is the largest. Its size, organization, and market share can prevent that from suppliers. Supplier volume is number two. Cisco alone works with over 1,000, and it would be very easy for them to make a switch if they wanted to. Number three is their own buying power. Cisco is a well-educated buyer with a very sophisticated and protected manufacturing process and supply chain. They're no dummy. Suppliers have to respect that. Because of all that, they have decided to really take control of their suppliers because they don't have a lot of threat for them. First, they're picky about who they work with, enough so that they have the luxury of prioritizing supplier diversity. And second, they're able to set the terms of their relationships and dealings with them. So in summary, Cisco has a low threat from suppliers, and they're able to exploit that for their own benefit.
Cisco is operating under the competitive strategy of differentiation. They have always been a differentiator from the very beginnings, with the roots of their founders who created the local area network, or LAN, which is still being used today by many corporations. Today they're focusing on a subscription-based product, with a large majority of their software being sold as a subscription-based product, and they plan to further expand their subscription-based products. The three things of their differentiation are, number one, they create value by focusing on security, which is becoming an increasingly large problem for many corporations in keeping their information and their clients' information secure. Number two, they're in a unique position by partnering with other large corporations like Apple, Aon, and Alliance to manage their cyber risks with added security technology, secure devices, cybersecurity domain expertise, and enhance their cyber insurance, which is becoming more and more a necessity for corporations to have to keep their information secure. With these products and services together, you cannot find them in anywhere else. The third point is with their keeping their costs low enough that their clients can afford it, which has allowed them to become the largest networking company in the world and also to have the largest market share among their competitors. They do have very high barriers to imitate with their partnerships, like the ones that they have, as well as their proprietary technology. They do have a sustained competitive strategy because they're able to provide a service that is, number one, very difficult to find in many other places with their large amount of partnerships, as well as their ability to solve an issue that is growing year after year with the issue of cybersecurity and their ability to offer an enhanced cyber insurance. This is our analysis of the company Cisco, and thank you for listening.